All right, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Giving double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. Giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to go over just some little current events. You know, I was looking at Sexyy Red's page, and it says y'all starting Halloween early. So you have these individuals, one playing the role as Drake, and then the other one is playing the role as Sexyy Red. And basically, this is a man in drag. So as you can see the pictures. But that actually looks like Drake, though. You know, it could be him. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them entertainers, they get down. A lot of them guys be pansexuals. You know what I mean? But as you can see that this is clearly a man, and this is Drake showing the so-called ultrasound because Sexyy Red is pregnant. You know, so. A lot of times, like these stars, like when they had their kids and stuff, you know, you gotta kind of look like you gotta kind of look at this like the drug game, right? Like in the drug game, you have quote unquote people that sell drugs. Right? I'm not talking about the average people. Well, you can look at the common people on the street corners just as well that sell drugs. Let's say they make $5,000 a day, or you have people that sell weight. They making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of times when they have kids, they send their kids to private school. You know, they kids not raised like yours. You know what I mean? But what they do is they go out in the streets and then they will quote unquote infect your kids with drugs, right? In terms of giving it to their parents, you know what I'm saying? Then a lot of times, you know, the parents, they strung out on the drugs. Then next thing, you know, it affects the kids. So when you're looking at Sexyy Red, her being pregnant, you know, she may not raise her kids, quote unquote, like she was raised, but she still represents the breaking down of the so-called black family. So when we looking at her being pregnant, we're looking at what? Let's look at a scripture. Let's turn to 2nd Ezra, I think 5 and 8. Second Ezra 5 and 8. It reads, it says, and there should be confusion also in many places. And see, that's what we see right here. We see this drag queen sitting back wearing the clothes, it looking like Sexyy Red, right? But that's a whole stud, you know what I mean? And even if it was a woman, see, that's the confusion that we having in our neighborhoods, is because like a lot of these entertainers, you know, the rap industry is the new cocaine of the so-called black community, see? And the Hispanic, you know, and a lot of these people that's watching music. That's the drug of today. And see, a lot of us, you know, we get high off this type of stuff. So when we see this, this is basically the confusion that is in the community today. See, this is why a lot of these kids are destroyed. So the record industry is using our people, right, that don't have the full knowledge of self. They are using our people as a weapon against our kids. So the scripture says, And there should be it says, and there should be a confusion also in many places, and fire should be oft sent out again, and wild beasts should change their places. And see, this is what we're looking at today. See, we're looking at what? Wild, brute beasts. See, these individuals today are wild, brute beasts, meaning that what? They have a beast-like mentality. See, so it says, and there should be confusion also in many places, and the fire should be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and what? Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And see, that's what Sexyy Red and a lot of these entertainers, this is what they represent to our communities. They represent, when they had kids, they represent what? Menstruous women's having monsters. See? Is because their persona is representative of what? Gangster bitches and gangster niggas and all this type of stuff. See? So when they had kids, they represent what? Monsters being created. See? It's because that's what the so-called black community represents when they have kids. We represents what? 3/5 of a human being. See? So let's look at this. We still in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter and the 7th verse. It says, and the Sodomites sea shall cast out fish. And see, what is that talking about? It's talking about the philosophy and teaching of who? Of the homosexual community. See? It's because, fish, you're supposed to be able to eat fish, right, and get some type of nutrients from the fish. So what fish is we eating today? We're eating the lifestyle and the characteristic of the homosexual community. See? So it says in the Sodomites sea. See? So what is it talking about? It's talking about the philosophy and teaching of these sodomites that's running around, that's influencing the world. See? So the sea represents what? Unorganized masses of people, and the fish represents what? The spiritual food that we will get when we watching TV and we watching stuff like I can't think of that. I be forgetting these shows, man. Where you had these stripper ladies, they was working in the strip club. And then the owner, he was a homosexual, He was a homosexual. And, a lot of times, like the show, the backdrop of the show was basically, the backdrop of the show was basically black and purple. Because purple represents what? The god called Saturn, brothers and sisters. And see, Saturn is nothing but another form of who? Nimrod. See? So this is what we seeing. So it says the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear this voice. It says, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. See? And what is the voice? The voice of the trumpet that is being blown by who? The sodomites or the homosexual community. See, and this is what's going on. They're in your communities. They're teaching your kids, right? You have what you would call drag queens and things of this nature, teaching your kids that it's okay to have two mommies and two daddies. See, and if you say something about it, then the consequences of that situation is that what? You could be put to death, brothers. I mean, you can't be put to death, but you can go to jail. You can be sued. So you can't even say nothing about this. Is because as long as you got a Social Security card, see, a Social Security number, you are the property of the United States government. So whatever laws, whatever statutes that they pull down, whether you like it or not, you got to do what? You got to follow suit. So it And see, this is why you see a lot of rebellion in the streets. It's because the Constitution is, quote unquote, even though it was written for quote unquote rich white folks that had money, but see, the masses of the people think that the Constitution was written for them. So this is why you have confusion in the land. This is why the people bombarded the Capitol on January the 6th when Donald Trump was in office. See, it's because they feel like that the Constitution, that their constitutional rights is not being heard and that it's being violated, right? So let's look at this. Let's look at this, brothers and sisters. We're looking at the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, and I'm going to start reading at the 15th verse. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. See, and what is we talking about? We're talking about how America and the European Common Market System is reenacting what you would call the Babylonian mystery system. See, and see that, and what Babylonian system is under rulership today? It's the fourth beast, which is who? The Roman Catholic Church. So the European Common Market System, or the 10 toes, see, and the European descended nations that came out of Europe, which is America, Canada, and the state of Israel, see, they all created what you would call this, the modern day, quote unquote, Roman Empire. So it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And what is the image of the beast? It's the old Babylonian mystery system that was created after the flood. So it says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be what? Killed. See, you see people like Vocab Malone, you see these low-level Christians, they talk about the Israelite community because a lot of us, we're going through what you would call the shaping of the Creator, right? He's basically shaping in the hard coal that is basically going to be turned into a diamond, see? But we have to go through things. So what they do is they try to criticize a lot of the things that we're doing out in the forefront. But see, the Christians can't escape their history. See, it's because they went around the world and they was doing what? They was conquering people, and they still conquering people even to this day. See, they raped our foreparents, right? They disrespected us. And see, if we didn't want to take on their religion, a lot of us was put to death, brothers and sisters. We was hung on trees, see, because we didn't want to follow Christianity. So it says, 16 verse, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, bond, and it says, let me read that over. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand on their forehead. So what is the mark, brothers and sisters? It's basically a spiritual mark, brothers and sisters. Let's not be deceived with the devil's interpretation of scripture, brothers and sisters. See, because they have us deceived out here thinking that it's a chip that is going to be in your hand. We're already chipped, brothers and sisters. And what is the chip? It is the philosophy and teaching of the Babylonian mystery system, see? And it's the customs and the traditions of the Babylonian mystery system. So the mark in the right hand is what? You're engaging into the philosophy and the lifestyle of the heathens, brothers and sisters. And when I say this, I'm talking about who? The nation of Israel, see? And you got some Gentiles that is going to come into the truth. They too is following after who? They're wandering after the beast. So the mark in the right hand is basically spiritual. You engaging into the system. See, that's why the Creator said what? You got to learn how to use the system, but not do what? Abuse the system. You have to learn how to wear the system as a loose garment. It's because if you're not following after the customs and the traditions of the Creator, you have the mark of the beast. So when we looking at this drag queen right here, she is exercising what? The mark of the beast. See? Because the right hand is symbolic of you engaging into the system, and the mark in the forehead is what? You welcome into your life the spirit of who? The adversary, brothers and sisters. So when we're walking outside and we're seeing different people engaging into the system, you're actually looking at people that have, quote unquote, the mark of the beast. So it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And it says, and no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark. Meaning that what? You're not going to be able to live in society, brothers and sisters. See, America is the beast system. See? America is the beast system. Christianity, all that type of stuff. That is the part of the mark of the beast. Is because why? Because you have to take on their philosophy. See? So basically, how you going to come out of that? You have to do what? You have to welcome into your life the spirit of divine enlightenment, brothers and sisters. And a lot of us don't have that right now. You know, a lot of us is coming out of that is because the Creator is waking us up. But you can clearly see from these individuals that they don't have that. See, let's look at this. Let's turn to the book of Lamentations. Let's turn to the book of Lamentations, brothers and sisters. 1 second, let me get it. The book of Lamentations 4 and 14. See? 1 second. The book of Lamentations 4 and 16. See, it's because that's why it's important for us to come out and try to reason with our brothers and sisters, because see, we're actually being swallowed up in, quote unquote, the land of the abyss. See, and what is the abyss? It's the philosophy and teaching of the Gentile world power system. So it says, Lamentations 4 and 14, they have wandered as blind men in the streets. And see, when we looking at our brothers and sisters today that is engaging in a lot of this buffoonery, see, this is nothing but the modern day minstrel show. See, so it says they have wandered as blind men in the streets. They have polluted themselves with the blood, so that so that men could not touch their garments. See, and what does that mean when they polluted themselves with the blood? It's the philosophy and teaching of the system, brothers and sisters. And it says, so that men could not touch their garments, meaning that what? The people that's actually following the Creator, see, they can't do what? They can't get no light from these individuals, man, because what? They're polluted. See, they're sacrificing to who? To Baal, brothers and sisters. See, let me read that again. They have wandered as blind men in the street. Look at us today. See, we're talking about killing and destroying one another. See, we blind. We don't take care of our families. We call our women bitches and hoes. See? We had kids. We don't even take care of our kids. We beat our women. The women too. The women want to be just like the men. See? She want to get in the man's face and disrespect him. See? She want to have kids by the man down the street, and then she don't even tell the man, her husband, or the man she dealing with, that she done got pregnant by somebody else. See, we're blind in the streets. See, It says, and they have polluted themselves with the blood. And what is that? It's the spirit of the system. See? Because we're sacrificing to what? Entertainment. You know, all this type of false philosophy that's out here in the street. It says they have polluted themselves with the blood so that men could not touch their garments. See? And see, when you touch a man, when you touch a person, just like when they touch Yahshua's garment, the woman that touched his garment, she said, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I can be what? I can be healed. You can't be healed by touching this man's garment, see? Because why? His garment is polluted, see? If we're touching the hem of the hip-hop industry, it's polluted. If we're touching the garment of the politician, the so-called black political system, it's polluted. If we're touching the garment of the religious system, it's polluted. If we're touching the garments of who? Of the social fabric of the system is polluted, brothers and sisters. We can't get nothing from that. See? Let's look at another scripture. Let's turn to the book of Zephaniah 1:17. The book of Zephaniah 1:17. 1 second. The book of Zephaniah. Come on now. 1:17. See, our garments is polluted, brothers and sisters. The book of Zephaniah 1:17. It says, I will bring distress. It says, I will bring distress upon men. See, we think that the people out there that got money, they got prestige, they got wealth. You think that they blessed. No, they not, brothers. They stressed. See? A lot of them stressed. They can't even spend that money how they want to. See? They can't really help the poor how they want to. And a lot of them got demons on them, brothers and sisters. See? You don't even know. These people could have been molested when they was younger. See? They could have got all type of stuff. They could have been born that way, brothers and sisters. So it says, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men. This is what we seeing today, but see, there's no wisdom in Babylon. See? There's no wisdom in Babylon. It says, because they have sinned against Yahweh. See, our ancestors, they sinned, and we sinning against the Creator. See? We sinning against... See, when you see stuff like this is actually us committing treason against the Creator. We warn against the Creator, because a lot of us don't even know the Creator. See? When you see folks like this, brothers and sisters, you got to understand that the Creator is not in their mindset. See? So our people is walking around like who? Like blind men, because they have sinned against Yah, and their blood shall be poured out. It says, and their blood shall be poured out as what? Dust. See? And their flesh as dung. And what is that? That's the spirit and the customs and the traditions that they're going to do what? Produce amongst the people. See? 18. Neither silver and gold. It says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver. See, you're not going to buy your way into the kingdom, brothers and sisters. See, while all these people are sitting around here doing these type of things, they don't even understand, right, that we are already in World War III. See, we already in World War III, brothers and sisters. And a lot of these folks, they're going to be killed. See, they're going to call out to the Creator. but the Creator is not going to hear them. Let's look at another scripture. Let's turn to Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at 36. It says, "But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." See, this is Yah speaking through Yahshua. And he's telling the disciples, see, don't nobody know when the day of the Creator is going to be here. But only way that we kind of know what's going on is by what? The events that's taking place on the world stage. Russia, China, America, the people that control, that have nuclear bombs, they're gonna fight each other. See? And where's these dudes gonna be at when nuclear bombs hit this country? See? We arrogant. See? We don't, and see, the day of Yah is what? Death and destruction. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also, it says, so shall also the coming of the man. It says, let me read that over. But as the days of Noah was, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man. And who is the true Son of Man? That's Yah himself. See? That's not Yahshua. That's not Jesus. That's Yah. For as in the days were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the what? The ark, brothers and sisters. See? And what are they talking about? Marrying and drinking and being married. They was engaging into the system. See? They love their lifestyles. And that's what we doing today. That's why on coming up of what they would call Halloween, which we worshiping the dead, right? We doing what? We're putting on costumes, bowing down, worshiping in who? These false gods. See, Sexyy Red is a god to these people. They worship her. Do you see this? See, the man, he want to be pregnant. And what is the flood that's finna come? See, because the Creator's not going to get rid of the earth no more by flood. He's going to get rid of the earth by what? Nuclear bombs, brothers and sisters. Let's look at this. Let's turn to 54. Let's see if we can find this. It's in the book of Isaiah. That's what I'm saying. We have to turn away from this stuff, man. Let's look at this. Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire." And see, what are we talking about? We talking about how these people, these elites, they got their hands on what? Nuclear weapons. And they have their nuclear weapons pointed at one another. See? That's the day of Yah. It's because who? God and Magog is finna fight against who? They gonna fight against who? The beast, y'all. These cats that running around like this, they have no thought of these things that's taking place. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bring forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." See? And who is this? This the big boys. Y'all, see? They not playing. And that's why but see, this is really the Creator in their mindset. See? This is the Creator in their mindset. Let's look at this. Psalms. The book of Psalms 7 and 13. He have also prepared for him the instrument of death. instrument of death. And what is the instrument of death? It's what? It's atomic energy, y'all. See, a lot of these guys is going to be burnt into ash. 13th verse. He have also prepared for him the instrument of death. He ordained his arrows against who? The persecutors, y'all. See, these nations, they are gearing themselves. Look how bold Hamas is today. I was looking at the Gray Zone by a Jewish guy because he see a lot of the hypocrisy of the Jewish community, right? He's saying that it wasn't my man Blumenthal. It was Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter says that Hamas, they secret intelligence is just as smart as the Israeli secret intelligence. See, and they said that that every time that they lose to the Israeli, they get more smarter. See, they get more intelligent, far as what? Ground warfare. But they look at our people. They not paying attention to nothing like that. See, look what they doing. They're eating and drinking and being merry. See? And why are they doing this? It's because the Creator is not in their heart, brothers and sisters. They still running around here talking about can't nobody judge me. See? Let's look at this. 1 Corinthians 10 and 6. It says, now these were our examples, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things. See, we can't look at the cares of this world, brothers and sisters. See, every day that we get up. See, we got to pray that the Creator stay in our mindset. It says what? 1 Corinthians 10 and 6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent that we should not lust after what? Evil things, as they also lust. See, this is the world today, brothers. They lust after what? They lust after homosexuality. See, they lust after the fact of men don't want to take care of their families no more. This is what the world is we lusting after who? Little Dirk and all the rest of these guys. See? And what are they doing? They bringing death and destruction to our communities. This is the nation of Israel still engaging into what? Idolatry, brothers and sisters. Let's look at the book of Galatians. 1 second. Let's look at the book of Galatians 5 and 16. The book of Galatians 5 and 16. It says, This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye should not fulfill the lust of what? The flesh. See, and this is what's going on, brothers and sisters. See, we lusting after the flesh. We all suffer from this. Because what? This is the age of what? Imperfection, brothers and sisters. See? I'm not saying this really to demean the people. I'm just saying that, look, it's a spiritual warfare out there, brothers and sisters. And we have to pay attention to the engagements that's going on in the streets. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, peace, shalom.